Hello, wherever you are. Welcome yet to another edition of our program called Issues That Matter. This week we are focusing on an ambitious health program which is rolled out by the community of Staten Island. The target is to reach out to individuals who are increasingly finding it difficult to visit hospitals for regular medical checkup. Most of the time people think that they are enjoying good health just because they don't fall sick. The experts drawn from the public and private organizations are in a routine meeting to review plans on how to address concerns relating to the health of individuals in the city. A practical exercise on what to do when one witnesses an incident when someone, whether in one's household, at the office, or in the streets, faces breathing difficulties. The program is being popularized by politicians and prominent individuals in the city. The goal is to reach out to community members wherever they are accessible. This is why barber shops are the target.
Day, American Heart Association Day.
When the first step was to call 911, if you're in Borough Hall, you will also ask someone to go get the AED. There's definitely an AED in this building, but you do not, go ahead.
And after the last time we did the CPR, we made sure we changed some protocols. I got some new pads and everything's updated. The AEDs at security.
And this can happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. So we have some local organization, and I was just thinking after you mentioned how this is important, because it's my first time exercising this. And now how we can actually, have it happen in some local organization. And I will definitely send the inquiry tonight, to have a session done. It can be a TOT, a trainings of trainers that will go to their, constituency and train people.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should hear that clicky. So you know where the click is. Gotta push harder. There we go.
You got it now.
3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And so that clicking, once again, just to re-emphasize that clicking that you would.
We're here. The main reason is to highlight the American Heart Association's centennial, 100th anniversary, 100th birthday, whatever you want to call it. But in a way, it's sort of segue to what's yet to come, right? About 100 years, for those who like history, you sort of walk back in time to where things were 100 years ago. And 100 years ago, the American Heart Association really didn't exist. But I think there were about 6 doctors in Chicago who came together and said, we need to begin to understand what cardiovascular disease is all about, heart disease. And they were the pioneers in a way, right? They were the ones who said we need to get a grip on this thing that was killing the largest killer in the country. So we're here to honor their memory, right? Honor what they did. And over the last 100 years, the millions of lives that have been saved because of the commitment of physicians and healthcare providers and all the volunteers to not just educate and inform about cardiovascular disease and hypertension, everything that comes with it, but the lives that have been saved, especially here in Staten Island, through the hospital systems, through the physicians. And my grandmother used to say, when you have your health, you have everything, right? And nothing has changed. So we want to honor the American Heart Association for its advocacy, for its commitment to making people live better, healthier, and longer. And then to sort of segue to what our responsibility is now. And we're not even talking about what's to come in terms of technology, the advancements in imaging, the understanding of genetics and molecular and cellular, the foundation of how we can help cure these things. That was unfathomable 100 years ago. But just think of where we may be 50 or 75 years from now. And in a way, as I eclipse, and I'm going to ask the doctor to come up. What do you got?
He's on on a quick call inside, but he'll be right
Oh,
back.
well, he's not escaping. But we have something here, in a way, sort of a pioneering, groundbreaking concept to get folks who, going about their lives, but we can try to help them save themselves and also plug them into a system of healthcare on Staten Island to ensure that they live a better, healthier life. And some of them are maybe unaware of their hypertension or their elevated risk, but you're all doing the part, and we're grateful for that, and we appreciate it. And the reason why I bring that up is not just sort of congratulate you on that, but that can become the foundation for a program, not just throughout the city, because it's not done in the other 4 boroughs, right? So to the unforgettable part, let's make this unforgettable in terms of replicating it, making it work. And on Staten Island, we're not afraid to take chances and ask the question, why not? And this is really what it is, and not just take it across the boroughs, but why can't every place across the country do the same thing? And we hope it works, so we're committed to making it work.
What is the most significant aspect of this programming? I've seen a CPR demonstration and also commitment from your multi-partners about what you intend to roll out. How do you conceive this program?
So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Dr. Ginny Mantello. I am the health director at the Office of the Borough President's Office. So I would say the key components of this initiative and the success of this initiative and this program is there are many reasons for the success. I think one of the key components is that we've been working closely together with the Staten Island community and a lot of people that are boots on the ground to put this program together. And NYU and American Heart Association offered the funding and the opportunity to be able to host this program on Staten Island and be the citywide model. And at that time, we made sure that we brought in all the partners that we thought would be critical, but we wanted to hear from them and not just tell them that here's a program we want to start, but we wanted to hear from them what in their experience would be the best steps in order to ensure success. So, not just going into a barbershop, but having the barbershops at the table. So our Community Advisory Council actually has multiple barbershops and barbershop owners and barbers as part of the council. We also have trusted leaders in the community that are clergy and others like Abu that happen to be on the ground and trusted by the community. So you can't just go into a community. There's a lot of mistrust already, especially between healthcare and certain ethnicities and races. So we wanted to make sure that we first partnered with the trusted on-the-ground, boots-on-the-ground people, such as the community leaders and the clergy and folks like Community Health Action of Staten Island that has community health workers already going into the community. Then we brought in our barbershops. We brought in Master Barber, Adisa Manchin. We brought in some other barbers that were running some big barbershops. We asked them, what do you think would be the best way to approach it? Do you think, how can we do this hand in hand? And then we put the program together. So it wasn't us just going and telling them what to do. It was us, all of us together sitting at the table to think about the best success. What would we need? What is the recipe? We can have the ingredients, but how much of each and how to put them together and how long to cook the soup. So, we've been working on this for many years. Even before this program started, we had another program that was funded through the health department where we had started this trust building right in the middle of COVID. And we started by actually not going in and talking about high blood pressure. We started by going in and talking to the barbershops as to what do you need? What are the resources you need to keep your shop running in the middle of COVID? Do you need vaccines? Do you need masks? Do you need other things? And we provided them with supplies. And when the trust was formed, that's when we said, okay, we want to, approach another big health problem, which is high blood pressure in the Black community. We talked to many people, did focus groups in the Black community, and we heard from so many people that didn't even know they had blood pressure and that had family members that had died of high blood pressure. And then they all realized that this was a very important thing to focus on. And so together we sort of forged this partnership and this program. So I hope that answers your.
So now, how long is this program going to last?
So this was a 5-year funding, so we're in year 3, so we're a little bit more than halfway, but we've already recruited all the men that we wanted to for this particular pilot part of the program, but we also have more funding to start to screen more people, and the next round of funding is going to expand the people we're screening and have, not just through barbershops, but other venues also. So when we do health fairs or we do pantries, go to the pantries, and we've already been teaching people, train the trainer, sort of teaching people how to take blood pressure. And we are going to try to now screen many more people. This particular program is supposed to run for another little more than 2 years. So October 2026 is when the funding for this runs out. But we hope that before then we'll find a way to sustain it or expand it through other fundings.
What is so alarming about the situation of cardiac arrest in the city? What actually prompted you to set up this program? Yes.
Cardiovascular disease, which includes heart disease and stroke, it is the #1 cause of death, and also premature death, and also preventable death. So when you think about that, there are many, many, many young people that are walking around with high blood pressure that don't know they have high blood pressure, and it's like a ticking time bomb. So when you have high blood pressure, what happens is that the pressure in your blood vessels is too high, and any time it can cause a little clot to break off, or it can cause the blood vessel to get blocked, and that blood vessel could be either going to the heart or to the brain, and it could cause you to have a heart attack or a stroke. And because it's so preventable, if you do the right things, you can prevent it. It's so important to increase the awareness about it. And the other reason why it's critical to increase the awareness is that oftentimes when young people end up with a heart attack or a stroke, it could be devastating. So it could be that they just end up, either hospitalized or paralyzed, or even, not make it through that event. So we thought it was critical, and we also see that it's certain subsets of the population have a much higher likelihood of having this, and the black population is one of them. So we thought it was important to sort of focus in on the black. It's also, there's been a lot of mistrust through the years, so there were many, many, many reasons to focus on the black population, including the fact that they have a very high incidence of having high blood pressure. And you saw with some of the statistics that Dr. Ravenel was sharing, before we started the study, when we screened 1,300 black men on Staten Island, we found 80% of them had either high blood pressure or hypertension already. So there was a very dramatic number of people that already did not have normal blood pressure.
So I'm Dr. Joseph Ravenel. I'm Associate Professor of Population Health and Medicine at NYU Grossman School of Medicine, and I lead the CLIP program funded by the American Heart Association. And that program, it stands for Community to Clinic Linkage Implementation Program. That program really is to address the epidemic of high blood pressure in black men. It's a problem for everyone nationally, but particularly for black men, for whom high blood pressure is one of the major killers. And so our program is designed to identify men who are at high risk for high blood pressure and to help give them strategies for preventing high blood pressure in barbershops where black men spend a good amount of their time. We know from our research that black men that many black men go to barbershops every 2 weeks. And so that's a great place to get your blood pressure measured and to get information on how to prevent high blood pressure and other forms of cardiovascular disease to ultimately prevent things like stroke, things like heart attack, things like end-stage kidney disease that really have a disproportionate impact on black men.
What outcome do you hope to get at the end of this 5-year program?
So at the end of this program, we're looking to see, did our program, which operates in barbershops, where we're partnering with community health workers to spread information to black men about preventing high blood pressure, we're going to look to see, were we able to actually prevent high blood pressure in those men who have a very high risk for it.
Health is key, and I think, it's very important for us as an advocate, as community organizer, to reemphasize the importance of health screening to our constituency, especially high blood pressure. High blood pressure prevalence is very high, in the African community, and as an immigrants, not being the voice to provide advocacy for some other issues, but also to provide advocacy when it comes to health issues, and make sure that I reemphasize the importance of health screening in the immigrant community. That's why I joined such a good initiative to be able to be the liaison about this wonderful program that we see here, that we have been doing for the past 3 years, and being the liaison between the immigrant community, people who are not able to attend this training, and take the message to them and tell them it's very important that we implement some activities that can allow people really to check up and to make sure they get screened on a regular basis.
How effective are you going to be with the African American community?
I say research has been done, and the outcome of those research shows that high blood pressure actually affected most likely black men. And when they say black men, it's something that we have to include immigrants coming to America also, who are confined, working every day, working 12 hours shift, working 14-hour shifts, and do not have time to go and to meet up with their medical providers, So prevention is key, and for me to spread the word of prevention in the African community is very important, because it's very alarming that, people are dealing with some chronic health condition, and stroke is there, heart attacks is there, and to tell them, listen, this is a wake-up call from us, and you need to involve in this initiative, and to sensitize others, raise awareness to others, and make sure that they know the benefit of this program and how this program can benefit them at the end.
Well, this is where we draw the curtain for our edition of our program. We hope you enjoyed it. If you do, share or make comments or suggestions or critique where possible. My name is Ibrahim Abalde. Bye-bye.